I'd like to reconvene from closed session to open session at this time, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to do it a little differently. Jan Oliphant, could you lead us in the flag salute tonight? Would you do that for us? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Let the roll call show that all are present except for Anna Conover, who's not here. And moving on, approval of minutes of the regular scheduled meeting for June 21st, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, Tricia Pierce.
We have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to minutes of the special meeting, June 27th, 2022. Do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second, Tricia Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to the third item, minutes of the special meeting of June 28th, 2022. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved. Linda Porras.
Second, Tricia Pierce.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to board meeting addenda. Do we have any additions to our agenda?
We do actually. We have two this evening. The first item is we will be adding an item to the agenda, which is board and superintendent comments. That will become item number 32 on the agenda. And second, asking the board to approve the agenda with the material change due to the difficulties with the new online system. The initial post was inaccurate, and we became aware of the issue and fixed that immediately.
Thank you so much. Do we have an approval with the items mentioned by our superintendent for the agenda of the regular meeting for July 19th, 2022?
So moved. Linda Porras.
Second, and Tricia Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Community and staff and student recognition, do we have any at this time?
We do. I believe that we have one recognition, and I'll turn that back over to you, Mrs. Jonathan, to do that.
I wonder what we're here to recognize. Mr. Richard Oliphant. And I just want to say I'm just so privileged to be saying this because I've known you for many, many, many years, and I've really valued your friendship. The name Oliphant is synonymous with education. Parents of 5 children, 8 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren, with a big investment in our schools, education has always been the top priority for Dick and Jan Oliphant. In 1976, Dick formed the School Building Corporation for the Desert Sands Unified School District, where he has served as president over the last 46 years. Yeah, 46. Pretty amazing. Leading the district bond issues, Mr. Oliphant worked to help individual schools of the district as a whole fund the largest percentage of new construction projects in the district, including this district's office facility, where we're actually holding the meeting today. He's passionate, inspirational, innovative, and collaborative. Dick is a visionary with a keen ability to identify needs and visualize the end result of for satisfying that need. Most importantly, our students' needs. Dick is our district's first Hall of Fame and Desert Sands Unified School District Awards recipient. In recognition of the work he had contributed to providing a quality educational opportunities for the children of Coachella Valley over the many years. Desert Sands was honored to name its newest school the Richard R. Oliphant School Elementary after him in 2017. Dick and Jan Oliphant have defined what it means to be a community leader, touching the lives of all residents in their many charitable endeavors. They have put education first, not only for their own family, but for all the families in Coachella Valley. We want to thank you, Mr. Oliphant, for your vision and many years of dedication, service to our school district. Your vision and dedication not only improve the educational programs in our community, but help create a strong link our schools have with the public. And for that, we are forever thankful from the bottom of our hearts. And I do want to also add that we've been able to accomplish so much in our district that none of the other districts were ever able to achieve what we've been able to do because of this building fund. And there were school districts that actually came and found out about this and talked to Dick and made sure that they tried to made sure that they had implemented that in their school district. So he was really cutting edge in creating this building fund, and we were truly beneficial for this. And finally, I want to also say that my husband, who sits on the building fund with Mr. Oliphant, wanted to say that he really wishes he was here, but you've always put students first, and it's always been evident in your life, the way you've lived your life, and you will so be missed on this committee, but we appreciate everything that you've done for us. So thank you so much. And I think we have a little award for you as well. Sure. And I have to tell you, as I said, I've known Dick and Jan for probably almost 40 years. So.
I want to thank the board for this recognition. 46 years ago, things were considerably different than they are today. And I just wish Dr. Harold Schoenfield was here to share this moment, because he was my partner in putting all of this together. We had to seek legislation. We had to do a number of things, but we were successful in accomplishing it, and it has built an awful lot of our district. So we're very, very proud, or I'm very, very proud of everything that we've done. I think I'm most particularly proud of the very building that we're in right now. I had a lot of personal interest in this building, saw to it that it was built the way we wanted it, and it came in under budget, believe it or not. And so all the plaster columns and plaster stone caps and everything, I changed to Cantera stone because I had the budget to do it. And I think it added a quality to the building, having Cantera windowsills and post caps and entrances and columns. And every time I look at that, I remember what we went through to do that. It seems like 46 years went by awfully fast. But I know I'm being followed up with some very capable people, and I know that the district will continue to grow and do well as a result. Thank you again for this award. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. And I knew you have family here. Would you like to introduce the family that you have here as well?
I would. I have my son and daughter-in-law, Michael Oliphant and Carrie Oliphant, and their son, our grandson, Tyler, and my daughter, Deborah Dolan, who is also a principal in the district, and her husband, Joe. So,
Oh, wait, yeah, I think you're forgetting the most important person over there. She's in a
Oh,
beautiful
my
little
wife,
Yellow.
Jan.
She's in
pantsuit.
yellow.
yeah. Yeah, she's my number one.
Oh, we have one more recognition, but before we do, did anybody want to share any words to Mr. Oliphant? Ms. Pierce?
Yes, I was privileged to meet Mr. Oliphant this year and tour his namesake school with him was our first meeting, and then to go to the building committee meeting with him, and I've really enjoyed. He's just a down-to-earth, nice guy with a lot of good ideas, and I just really want to wish him the best as he leaves the presidentship or to his son, that will keep working and letting his vision keep going in our district. And thank you for everything.
Thank you, Ms. Porras.
Well, well, everything was said. Wendy said everything in her letters, so there's not much I can add, except I remember one of the things that you had said was that this building was your prize possession, that you had made. And when you look at this building and you think about how long it's been here, you just had so much foresight in just the way it is. And so it's just amazing what your thought was. A thought is something that is somebody's thought, and then it's brought to life. And this has been brought to life because of you and your vision. And anyway, we love you, and we're going to miss you where we see you. But I mean, we know you're still going to be around, and you're just an amazing man and beautiful couple. I just think you guys are a blessing to us. And so congratulations. And I guess you're going to retire now, right? Are you going to be retired?
I don't think he knows how to retire. And Superintendent?
Thank you so much. Linda said it very well. Wendy's kind words really did describe how we feel. But as I was sharing with you earlier, there are ripples throughout the district of the impact that you've had, and students that benefit all the time from the work that you've done, and they have no idea, but we know, and we appreciate so much all that you've done and the impact that you've had on our district and on our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And moving on.
We do. We have one more. I'll turn it over to Mr. Aquino.
Well, that is very, very hard to follow. If anyone has to follow that. I just want to say also thank you, Mr. Oliphant, also for the Oliphant's contribution to education. I know Jan has been also very involved in education as well. And if anyone ever has an opportunity to read Mr. Oliphant and all his accolades and resume, you would be shocked as I was over the last couple of weeks reviewing how many things and contributions he's made to the community. So I just want to say thank you for your service with Desert Sands. For the Madison Elementary modernization and new construction project, we have Mr. Brent Chavez here, who is the Assistant Vice President of Keenan. He will be presenting, and he'll explain to you the award that the district is receiving tonight in regard to its SUIP loss control services. He is also accompanied by our Director of Facility Services, as you know, Mr. Patrick Cisneros, who's sitting up here in the front. And so, Mr. Chavez, please.
Hey, thank you. So as Mr. Aquino mentioned, my name is Brent Chavez. I am the Assistant Vice President of Keenan & Associates. I work directly with the district for property liability, workers' compensation, and the construction insurance. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Statewide Educational Wrap-Up Program, I want to thank the district for allowing me to take this time and present this award. The Statewide Educational Wrap-Up Program or also known as SOUP, is a comprehensive owner-controlled insurance program designed specifically for school districts. The district utilized SOUP for the Madison Elementary School District, Madison Elementary School modernization and new construction. The project consisted of 2 new single-story classroom buildings accompanied by a campus-wide renovation. Since the start of this $9.6 million project, safety was always a priority between Desert Sands USD and Bernard's, the construction manager. The strong safety efforts by both resulted in an outstanding safety performance. The criteria to earn this award is a minimum construction value of $3 million, a workers' compensation loss ratio of less than 20%, and a general liability loss ratio of less than 5%. This project experienced 0 losses for workers' compensation, general liability, and builder's risk, which is an incredible feat, especially in this day. In this construction industry, the average workers' compensation loss ratio is 60%. So even more impressive, this is the 3rd award won by the district with 0 losses in all 3 categories. So an amazing feat, especially by Mr. Cisneros and what his team does with the district. Amazingly, including this award for Madison, this is the district's 7th SOUP Safety Award. So on behalf of the Board of Directors for the Statewide Educational Wrap-Up Program, I am proud to present this safety award to the Desert Sands Unified School District and Bernard's.
So I just want to thank you, Brent, for recognizing us again. This is not an easy thing to achieve. I do want to recognize Bernard's, our construction management company, Eric Treno, and also Denny Valderrama, and the rest of their team, their superintendent team, who are on the job site every day, making sure things are going safe, and keeping things progressing. I also want to thank our project manager, Jacob Barrios, who also oversees the project with Bernard's. But we're just thank you for this recognition. We work hard to make sure safety is a priority on our projects with our students, especially when on campus with students and staff there. So thank you again to the team.
Thank you so much. Let's move on to introduction of newly and recently promoted employees.
All right, good evening. I'm very excited that we have a number of new employees to announce, new management employees. Just a quick note, a little change. We had a couple of last-minute changes of plans, and both Monica Pitino Ayala and Gracelia Sanchez, they will actually be at our upcoming board meeting on August 16th, and we'll introduce them then. So without further ado, I'll start with Marcia Abbott, and I'd like her to step up to the dais, if she would, please. Welcome, Marcia. So Marcia Abbott earned her bachelor's degree in science and exercise physiology with a minor in psychology from Ohio University, a master of science in exercise science from Miami University, a PhD in biology from the University of Southern California, and most recently an educational specialist degree in school psychology from the University of Northern Colorado. Ms. Abbott's role as a school psychologist represents a change in her professional arc, as she previously taught health sciences at Chapman University in Orange, California. Teaching college students helped her to understand that kids are faced with a great deal of stress and traumas. This helped her and helped to motivate her to go back to school to become a school psychologist so she could best have a positive influence on kids. Ms. Abbott wants to have a positive influence on kids and help them to grow into successful adults before they reach college age. She has experience working at 3 different rural school districts in northeastern Colorado as a school psychologist intern. She found tremendous enjoyment while working with kids at various roles as a school psychologist, including developing and implementing behavioral interventions, administering cognitive and academic assessments, as well as school-wide interventions. Ms. Abbott recently presented research at the American Psychological Society Convention, and was a graduate student contributor in obtaining a grant at the University of Northern Colorado. Her research focused on the effects of yoga on stress management and classroom performance in K-12 students. Ms. Abbott teaches and practices yoga at Desert Yoga Shala in Palm Desert during her free time. She is also a registered child's yoga teacher with a trauma-informed focus, as well as an American College of Sports Medicine certified exercise physiologist. She hopes to teach kids yoga and mindfulness to help them cope with today's stresses. Since moving to the desert, she has also been learning to play golf. Ms. Adams would like to recognize her 2 poodle rescue dogs, Ricky and Molly, who have traveled all over the country with her and continue to be by her side. Ms. Abbott is very excited to start her professional career as a school psychologist at Desert Sands Unified School District, and we are very excited to have you as part of our leadership team. Welcome.
Thank you very much. That seems like a long intro. Don't feel that special, actually, but I appreciate it. I'm really excited to be here at Desert Sands, and kind of like you heard in my bio, this is a career change for me, and I'm really interested in working with kids in mental health capacity. Obviously, we know it's very needed right now, and I'm excited to step into this new role, and everyone's been very welcoming here at the district, and really looking forward to joining. So thank you, everyone.
So much. So I'd like to invite Catherine Burling up to the dais. So again, I'm pleased to introduce Catherine Burling, principal of Jefferson Middle School. Catherine Burling earned her Bachelor's of Arts degrees in English from Texas A&M University at Commerce. She earned her Master's of Education in Educational Administration from the University of North Texas. Ms. Burling recently completed her 20th year in public education. The first 12 years of her career were spent in Texas, where she worked for 7 years in Dallas at an inner-city Title I campuses before moving into administration. She also served as a middle school assistant principal and then as a district director of testing. She originally began her master's degree in English with a focus on linguistics and second language acquisition in order to better serve the English learners in her classroom who she felt needed it. She was also equipped to serve as a beginning teacher support, and she was determined to provide quality, equitable education to all of her students. This led her to be invited to a district-sponsored partnership with the University of North Texas as one of only 30 educators selected by master principals to become future school administrators. The 2023 school year will be her 14th year as an administrator. As a child of extreme poverty who moved numerous times growing up, it is always schools that provided her with a safe haven and a place of stability. Regardless of where her family landed, there was always a team of passionate educators there to support them. It was her career as a student that led her to be a teacher and shaped her career of service, making her the educator that she is today. She is most proud of her natural instincts for mentorship and advocacy for both students and adults. Patience, kindness, and empathy are central to her core values as a human, and they form the cornerstones of her approach to school leadership. With well over a decade of school administrative experience, she is well-versed in special education law, Section 504, ELD, and Title I programming. Ms. Burling is a lover of nature, and at least once or twice a year, she takes her dog and sidekick, Ollie, on a road trip to a state or national park. She's also an avid reader and learner. Her book stacks range from the classics to educational leadership to Harry Potter and Spanish to biographies. In her spare time, she likes to keep her hands busy with anything crafty or creative. Ms. Burling was born and raised in North Texas and is the middle of 5 children. Her family is now spread across the country, but never more than a phone call apart. She will forever be grateful for the mentorship, support, and encouragement from the admin teams who helped her grow throughout this journey that has taken her from Dallas in 2002 to Desert Sands in 2022. We are so glad that your journey led us to Desert Sands. Welcome, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the school board and, of course, the administrative cabinet and my hiring committee for having faith and trust in me to take on leadership at Jefferson Middle School. Though I am new to Coachella Valley, I do feel like this is a return to my roots and where I belong, and I intend to earn that trust from you every single day, and I'm going to take care of this school and its students. Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. And if I could have Dave Gustafson come up, please. Dr. Dave Gustafson. I am pleased to introduce Dr. David Gustafson, Senior Director of Secondary Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. Dr. David Gustafson earned his Master's of Science degree from Southeastern Missouri State University, a Master's degree in Educational Leadership from Pepperdine University, a second Master's degree in Education from National Louis University, and his doctorate in Organizational Leadership from the University of Laverne. Dr. Gustafson started his career as a special education teacher in his hometown of Chicago. In 2003, he escaped the cold Chicago winters and relocated to the Coachella Valley, where he continued his teaching career in a neighboring district to the west. In 2010, he became an educational specialist. He became to Desert Sands. During his tenure in Desert Sands, Dr. Gustafson has served as a program specialist, an assistant principal at Shadow Hills High School, and for the past 7 years, he has been the proud principal of Amistad High School. In his free time, Dr. Gustafson is an avid researcher that has presented and authored articles in academic journals and practitioner publications. Recently, he finished co-authoring a second edition of The Practical Decision Maker, a handbook for decision-making and problem-solving. Dr. Gustafson is an avid mountain biker and loves cheering on his Chicago Cubs. Welcome to your new role. We're very proud of you.
Thank you very much. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Desert Sands Board of Education and the Cabinet for this fantastic opportunity to serve as a member of the team of the Educational and Technology Services Division. I'm so excited to be a part of this great team. I would be remiss not to acknowledge the great family at Amistad High School. I'm so thankful for the 7 years that I got to serve alongside of some of the finest educators in Desert Sands. And then finally, to my parents back home in Chicago, who hopefully navigated the link to the YouTube video, I would like to thank them for their love and support. And I'm just so very grateful to have them in my life and supporting me along the way. And I look forward to celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary in October. Wow. So without further ado, thank you very much, and let's get to work.
Congratulations, Dr. Davidson. If I could have Mike Kent come to the dais, please. And I'm very pleased to introduce Mike Kent, Senior Director of Elementary Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. Mike Kent graduated from Grand Canyon University with a bachelor's degree in elementary education and earned a master's degree in educational leadership from Northern Arizona University. Mr. Kent was raised in Phoenix, Arizona. Shortly after graduating high school, he went to work for the Phoenix Police Department, where he spent 8 years as a police dispatcher while working through his way through college. It was while working towards his teaching credential that he was undecided if he would pursue law enforcement or teaching. Deep down in his heart, there was always the desire to be a teacher, so he pursued that pathway by accepting his first teaching job with the Peoria Unified School District, where he spent the first 11 years of his educational career. There he taught grades kindergarten, 4, and 5. He was then promoted to the position of instructional coach, followed by 3 years as an assistant principal at a K-8 school. In 2007, Mr. Kent came to work for Desert Sands and became a principal of James Monroe Elementary School, where he remained for 10 years. 5 years ago, he was promoted to the position of Director of Professional Development and Teacher Support. Mr. Kent has also had the wonderful opportunity to teach in the multiple subjects teacher credentialing program for California State University at San Bernardino, Palm Desert campus for the past 9 years. He's also been a presenter at the state and national levels and was Principal of the Year in 2017. While principal of Monroe Elementary School, it was named a distinguished school twice. The school also earned the California Exemplary Physical Activity and Nutrition Program Award, received the Riverside County Office of Education Models of Academic Excellence and Innovation Award, and earned the Bronze Award for the National Healthy Schools given by the Alliance for a Healthier Generation. Mr. Kent loves spending time with his family, eating out with his wife, and spending time at the gym and in the pool. Mr. Kent would like to acknowledge and thank some key people who have had a very positive impact on his professional career. First and foremost, his wife Sherry for her unwavering support, and her two sons, Caleb and Seth, who are also Grand Canyon University alumni and are also in education. Seth is a multiple subject ELA teacher in Peoria, Arizona, and Caleb is finishing his master's in school counseling. As well as Dr. Kelly Mae Vollmer, Dr. Marcus Wood, Dan Miller, Kathy Felchey, as well as the educational services and support staff, these individuals' leadership and support have been a foundation for his 15 years of service with Desert Sands. Mike, congratulations on your new role. We think you're going to do an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I feel very blessed and honored to be standing up here tonight. So I want to just thank the board and cabinet for having faith in me to get the work done. I'm so excited to follow my passion and my strengths in elementary and start to the new adventure of Senior Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. So again, thank you. I do want to introduce the president of the Mike Kin fan club, my beautiful wife, Sherry. And then I have some Monroe family that surprised me tonight. So Monroe is a heart. It's where I spent 10 years of my life here in Desert Sands, and I just love that family. And they surprised me tonight, some of them. So thank you for being here, and thank you.
That's fair.
Last but certainly not least, I'm pleased to introduce Monica Pitino Ayala, mental health therapist. Monica, if you could come to the dais, please. Oh, I apologize. Thank you for keeping me on track. That's why Mrs. Fisher's here, is to keep me together. I would say just one additional thing, Mr. Kent. You're right. Behind every great leader is an exceptionally strong team. So congratulations.
And I do want to, I was negligent in recognizing Patrick Cisneros getting the award, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to be here. Pretty impressive that we've won 7 of those awards, and Madison is doing so well, and I've never heard of any school or anything being done with 0 problems. So I'm just like overwhelmed. So great job. I wanted to go down and have my colleagues also talk to some of the new and promoted employees. So Ms. Pierce?
I want to congratulate and welcome Marcia Abbott. Sounds like you had an interesting life in Colorado. I hope you're not having too much trouble adjusting to our weather here. Also, Catherine Burling from, where are you? There you are. Texas girl, I guess. Were you here originally and then in Texas? Right, in Texas. Okay. Well, I want to welcome you too. I recently toured that with Margot, the school, and is doing wonderful things. I especially like the Parents Center and the counseling setup for those kids to really have the help they need. So I know with your caring attitude, and they'll be really doing well with you. And Dr. Gustafson, I know it's hard for you to leave Amistad. You're so proud of that school, and it does such amazing things. And I just want to welcome you over here as a senior director. And Mike Kent, switching from your professional development over to elementary where your heart is, I want to welcome you and congratulate you on that. Thank you.
Ms. Boris?
Okay. Marcia, wow, when you said you do yoga in your free time, what free time? My gosh, all the things that they said, I was like, wow. Anyway, and I love that you have rescue puppies. I'm a dog person, so I think that's awesome. Anyway, congratulations, and you are much needed at this time, definitely, and your heart shows exactly what you plan to accomplish with the kids. So I'm really and I love that yoga for kids, and that's amazing. So really, congratulations and welcome to the family. And Catherine, I am a Jahara. We were Jaharas. Jefferson were Jaharas. And they changed it because of politically incorrect name or something. Anyway, so now they're the Jaguars, but I was a Jefferson graduate. So And that school, a lot of it looks the same from when I was there so many years ago. But I look forward to coming and seeing you, and congratulations on your new position. I think you're going to do fantastic. And Dr. David Gustafson, I'm so excited for you. It's going to be hard for me to not see you at Amistad. It's like I know you've been there forever, it seems like, but so proud of you, and I'm so excited for your new journey in going forward. So I think you're going to be awesome. And Mike Kent, wow, the police department, that's a dispatcher. That is hard work. That is really, to put yourself through school while you were doing that, that's intense. But we're so glad you chose education over police work. I'm sure your wife is excited about that too. Her prayers were answered. So, but you're going to be amazing. And I love that your Madison family is here to support you. And anyway, or Monroe, I'm sorry, said wrong one, sorry. I meant Monroe, sorry guys. All the names of the schools, but anyway, I'm super excited for you all, and congratulations, and you're gonna do great, so thank you.
Thank you. Marcia, career change, I can relate to that. I did a career change when I was 30 years old and went into education. And so I understand that you follow a passion. I think it's wonderful. I think that you have some really great thoughts about helping students. I think that yoga kind of centers you. I'm not a yoga person, I'm a Pilates person, but it still does that. I kind of center myself, and I'm able to move on from the day. I also want to tell you, you're learning golf. You're going to be learning golf for the rest of your life. I'm telling you, you might have a great hole, and then the next hole you have to learn all over again. So just get used to that. But welcome to our district. We're so happy to have you here. It's a little hotter than Colorado, so I'm just warning you. You may see triple digits. That's cool in the desert. So, Catherine, I'm so glad to see that we stole somebody from Texas to come over here to be over in at Jefferson Middle School. You really impressed me because you have a lot of passion and caring, and I think that's something that we see in elementary school, but in middle school, those students are really vulnerable and fragile, and I'm just so glad to see that you're going to be over at Jefferson. I think you're going to do some incredible things. And I love that you like state national parks. I'm a fan as well. I don't collect the pins. My brother-in-law does, but we do the hopping of national parks. But I just want to say how wonderful it is that you realize the importance, the impact that we have on our students. Dr. Dave. You will be so missed at Amistad. You are an amazing, amazing educator, and it's been a privilege knowing you the years that I've been here at the district. It's so well deserved. I know that Amistad will be in good hands, but I also know that you're going to do some incredible things and help direct us in a great direction in our district. I will say I am a fan of Chicago. My son did go to Northwestern Law School, so I'm a Cub fan too. And I hope they're watching, and Cafe Babariba is like the best tapas in Chicago. I'm just saying. But good luck. You're going to do an amazing job. Mike, again, you two were like people to watch. It's kind of like those, they have the Forbes top, people. I mean, you were one of those top people along with Mr. Woods over here and Miss Falmer. You just there were a group of you. These are the people to watch. And I'm shocked about, I think both of us kind of were taken aback when we heard police dispatcher. I mean, my niece is doing a TV show. She's an editor, and she sits with the dispatchers, and she's talking about how difficult it is. That is not something you do as a part-time job while you're going to school. That is emotionally draining. But I think that also speaks volumes of the kind of person you are. You're just a very sensitive, very caring person. And I'm glad to see your cheerleaders there, your wife, your #1 cheerleader. And nobody could ever not acknowledge that Nathan and Catherine is here, where they're cheering you on because they're fans of yours. So I think that speaks volumes of the Monroe family. They've always been fans of all of you. So congratulations. And I know you're going to do great things again as well. So congratulations to all of you, and best wishes. And I'll let our superintendent say some words as well.
Thank you. I got the pleasure just before we started to connect with Marcia, so that was really nice. We had a Colorado conversation since I have 3 kids living there, and then was very fortunate earlier today to spend some time with Catherine. And I just will echo what Ms. Jonathan said. The passion that both of you have for what you do really stands out. And I want to say that we feel very fortunate to have you here in Desert Sands, but I will also say that Desert Sands is a very special place to work. And so I know you are equally fortunate to be able to be joining a really amazing staff here in Desert Sands with great leadership. And so we're excited to have you. And Dave and Mike, that was a great way to describe it, like the 40 under 40 or whatever that was, top 40 under 40. I will just say to both of you, 2 things I think of. One is both of you have such a proven track record of doing outstanding work in this district and are so well respected by so many people. But I want you to know that you have my utmost respect for the work that you've done. And having recently exited Educational and Technology Services, you are going to get to work with a very special team of people. So I know the great work will continue. Congratulations.
Thank you. Moving on, for informational item, we have the quarterly report summary on the Williams uniform complaints for April through June, and as always, there are 0, so that's always wonderful to hear. We're now moving on to the staff conference items, Measure K and Measure KK Citizens Bond Oversight Committee Annual Report and Presentation.
Thank you, Board. Just wanted to introduce again Director of Facilities, Mr. Patrick Cisneros. He's accompanied with Kathleen Boylan and Peter Kim, who are also members of the Citizens Oversight Committee, and they will be doing their annual presentation.
Good evening once again, Board and Cabinet. Thank you, Mr. Aquino, for your support as well. Tonight, the Board has been provided with an annual report for 2020-2021, and also behind that, you have also the 2020-2021 audit report for Measure KK. The Board has been updated on all the details of the projects in past study sessions, in the recent study sessions we've had. And tonight, the COC annual report is going to be presented by Ms. Kathleen Boylan on behalf of the COC. Ms. Kathleen has also been a member of the COC since 2015, just right after Measure KK was passed by the voters. So we want to thank Kathleen for her service, and also welcome Peter Kim to the team this year as well. So we also want to thank those of the COC that are not able to be here tonight that had some other commitments that they couldn't be here. So I want to thank them for volunteering and helping us do some great things here in Desert Sands. So Kathleen's with us now.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you and good evening, Board President and Board members. I am here as a member of the Citizens Oversight Committee to present the 2020 to 2021 annual report in accordance to our bylaws. Measure KK was an approved $225 million bond measure in 2014 that would allow its funds to be used to build a new elementary school, modernize a number of schools across the district, invest in technology, and fund other projects to make our schools safer and more efficient. The objective of our committee is to ensure that those bond funds are spent as specified per the Measure KK proposition in the 2014 election. Our committee has updated you in previous years on the progress as we work through the phases of completion. This report, the one you should have here, will cover the final bond series and final series of projects, which is projected to be completed in 2024. Throughout the process, the committee is regularly updated on the progress of projects and their budgets by district facility staff, of course led by the amazing Mr. Cisneros. And finally, in compliance with the requirements of Proposition 39, an independent audit of financial records of the bond program was also completed. Our committee was presented with the auditor's report by the CPA firm Eide Bailey LLP and found that everything is in order and the district received a clean audit for another year. Inside the report, you will find the review of several projects that were part of phases 2A and 2B, as well as the projects included in phase 3. The bond series is projected to end with the completion of the Carter Elementary School modernization project in 2024. This annual report will also detail the percent of budget completed by phase and completed by project. And that's all I have, so thank you, unless you have any questions.
Ms. Pierce, do you have any questions?
Just looking at it for the first time, but thank you for the report and this great summary color report that goes through each project and the completion dates and gives some really quick information. So I appreciate all the work that you guys do as that oversight committee, and thank you for that.
Boris?
I have no questions. Thank you.
I have no questions, except I don't understand why Peter Kim sat in the audience and didn't say anything. I happen to know Peter, and I know he can talk. He doesn't have his picture in the book, but I'm going to draw his picture there in the book, so it will be there. But no, thank you, Kathleen. It was a great presentation. Again, this was wonderful. I think that we're going to be looking at funding another measure down the line because we've been able to do so much with the KK bond. But thank you so much for keeping us on track and making sure that everything has gone smoothly. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks to Mr. Cisneros. He's amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Mr. Cisneros. You're amazing. I know, but it's also nice to know that we have citizens that come in and take the time out of their busy day and really commit to seeing that our schools and our funding is solid. And I really do appreciate all your time. You know, I joke with Mr. Kim sitting there, but I also know he has a little small daughter at home and a pregnant wife. So I think that it's, that you guys give up your own time for this. And we do really appreciate all the time you give our district. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on, we have High School Association Student Body Report. There is none. There is no public hearing at this point, so we're now going to be opening up to public comment on open session items. Before we do that, I want to read my little statement. I have the statement someplace. This is when you have just too many papers on your... Here it is. Okay. Ed Code 7054, prohibiting political statements at board meetings. Pursuant to Educational Code 7054, the district is prohibited from expending any resources directly or indirectly to urge the support or defeat of any ballot measure or candidate for elected office, including the candidates for the Board of Education. This means that the district must ensure no funds, supplies, equipment, monetary expenses, or manpower are used or expended for political purposes. These rules are applied equally upon any and all candidates and incumbents. Accordingly, since holding the board meeting involves a district resource for staff, utilities, etc., the public comment at the board meeting shall not include any statement that may be reasonably construed as urging support or defeat of any candidate for election or any ballot measure. And now, communications from the floor in accordance to the bylaws of the board, 9323. Time is reserved for all oral communications by members of the Board of Education or by citizens present. Citizens wishing to be heard on agenda items shall have a 3-minute limit and shall indicate their intention at this time. In accordance with the law, decisions of the board cannot be made on any matter not previously published before the board meeting as indicated in bylaws or of the bylaws of the Board of Education. And I also want to make it understood that if we do not respond, it's because if something is going to be said and we could eventually vote on it, it would be a violation of the Brown Act. So we cannot respond to any comments that are said during public comment. And we have one speaker, and that's Trish Ryan. And there she is, and she'll be speaking.
Hello, great to see you. Congratulations, Dr. Kelly-Vollmer. It's wonderful. Okay, so just real briefly, I wanted to comment on a few things. First of all, please, no masks, no mandates. I don't think you plan to do that. I want to thank you for raising the guest teacher pay. I think that is very important to get quality people. The ones I know will really appreciate it. I'm really excited about the naming of the Daryl Salazar facility that's coming up tonight. I've worked with him for many years, and he's deserving. Well, I'm here as a middle school PE teacher, again, of why we're moving the calendar so early when safety has to be considered. You all, I'm going to try it a different way. I've done the pool temperature, why we all swim in our pools in June, but you can't swim in them in August. It's because of the ground temperature. I'm married to a farmer. He's been in the field for over 30 years. I've been teaching for over 30 years. I love it. But they have to make their workers stop at 110 degrees at 11 a.m. I mean, that's just all this OSHA law. Desert Sands did this back in 2015. And I can teach lots of things. I have many credentials, including administrative. And I love teaching PE with the kids. I think I make a real difference out there. I know Wendy's stopped in. I know Dawn has stopped in, Dawn Griffith. But we have to look at something different for our elementary. Our calendar is addressing high school kids only. Okay? We stagger it. Start us back a week. Just start us and have us end a week. This came out in 2015. It's a health code for staff. But why shouldn't it address students too? How can I tell if a student in classes of 48 to 60, if they're healthy or not? You're expecting me to medically diagnose them. Okay, when they come and say, I don't feel well. We're just walking, a lap around the field. I don't know if they don't feel well. Of course, I'm like, go sit in the shade. We only have so much shade. There's 6 PE teachers teaching a class of 48 to 60. Even if we go in our MPR, they are chair to chair, not spread out. They're chair to chair. The elementary teachers, we're burning them out early because they have to watch their kids for a recess in those hot days. I just feel like this is a 2015 study for health and safety for staff. It should be for students too, but it's for staff. Here's a calendar from 2016. We started school on the 25th of August. We used to start when I taught here after Labor Day. Okay, I get that. Everybody wants to end before Christmas break. Again, addresses the high schoolers only. Doesn't address middle school and elementary. We started on the 25th of August. We ended on June 10th or June 9th that year. What's the difference? I mean, start us a week later. Then the families stay a week later in June. It would be healthier. I cannot keep kids active for that time period when it's so hot. I care. That's why I'm here. I came back from Oceanside. Thank you, Wendy. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Tricia. And could you do me a favor? Can you hand those 2 reports to
Sure.
Adriana right there, and then we can make sure that they're copied off and we can get copies
I
of those.
sure will, and I can email them out to you.
Thank you so much.
And think about dogs, too. Well, you wouldn't leave your dog outside all day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have no other public comments, so we'll be going on to our general functions, business services. And we are going to be, I have to put a new hat on, don't I? For the following 5 agenda items, the Board of Education will be acting as the legislative body for the Desert Sands Unified School District's Community Facilities Districts. These agenda items provide for the individual CFD to authorize the levy of special taxes within such CFD for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Agenda item number 17.1, the Board of Education will be acting as the legislative body of CFD number 1 for this agenda item. The resolution number 01/2022-2023, the resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District acting as the legislative body of the Community Facilities District Number 1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District, authorizing the levy of special taxes within the Community Facilities District Number 1 for fiscal year 2022-2023. Do I have a motion for approval of this resolution?
I move to approve resolution number 01/2022-2023.
Second the motion, Tricia Pierce.
Agenda item number 17.2, the Board of Education will be acting as the legislative, I have to vote on those items. I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none. It's a call. We have to call out because it's a resolution. So Ms. Pierce, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I will be voting aye, so motion carries. Moving on, agenda item number 17.2, the Board of Education will be acting as the legislative body of the CFD number 2008-1 for this agenda item. The resolution number 02/2022-2023, resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District acting as the legislative body of the Community Facilities District number 2008-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District, authorizing the levy of special taxes within the Community Facilities District number 2008-1 for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Do I have a motion for approval for this resolution?
I move to approve resolution number 02/2022-2023.
I second the motion, Tricia Pierce.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, a vote by person. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Agenda item number 17.3, the Body of Education will be acting as the legislative body of the CDF number 2013-1 for this agenda item. The resolution number 03/2022-2023, resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District acting as the legislative body of the Community Facilities District number 2013-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District, authorizing the levy of special taxes within the Community Facilities District number 2013-1 for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Do I have a motion for approval of this resolution?
I move to approve resolution number 03/2022-2023.
I second the motion, Tricia Pierce.
We have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none, again, resolution requires a vote by person. Ms. Pierce, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I will be voting aye. Motion carries. Agenda item number 17.4, the Board of Education will be acting as the legislative body of the CFD number 2018-1 for this agenda item. Resolution number 04/2022-2023, resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District acting as the legislative body of the Community Facilities District number 2018-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District, authorizing the levy of special taxes within the Community Facilities District number 2018-1 for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I move to approve resolution number 04/2022-2023.
I second the motion, Tricia Pierce.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, again, vote by person. Ms. Pierce, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Agenda item number 17.5, the Board of Education will be acting as the legislative body of the CFD number 2021-1 for this agenda item. Resolution number 05/2022-2023, resolution of the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District acting as the legislative body of Community Facilities District number 2021-1 of the Desert Sands Unified School District, authorizing the levy of special taxes within the Community Facilities District number 2021-1 for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I move to approve resolution number 05/2022-2023. Linda Porras.
Second the motion, Tricia Pierce.
We have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none, and vote by person. Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. The matters related to the CFD numbers 1, 2008-1, 2013-1, 2018-1, and 2021-1 are complete for this evening. The board will no longer be acting as the legislative body of the district CFDs for the remaining items on the agenda. The board will now be acting as the Board of Education of the Desert Sands Unified School District. That leaves a remainder of items 6 through 9. We can call them individually or vote on them as a group. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we take 6, 7, 8, and 9 as a group. Linda Porras.
Second the motion, Tricia Pierce.
Hearing motion and second, is there any discussion?
I just want to say that I'm excited to be naming the Palm Desert High School baseball facility after Daryl Salazar.
And I will second that. My boys went to Palm Desert High School, and Mr. Salazar was there, and that was a long time ago, and I know he was there from the very beginning, so I think it's only apropos. Any other discussion?
I also am glad to see that naming of the stadium will happen, and happy for that Palm Desert High School.
All right. So now that discussion is done, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We're now moving on to General Functions 18, Educational Services. There is a resolution on the agenda, so it's resolution number 06/2022-2023, Certify Independent Study Curriculum. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Again, it's a call-out vote. So, Ms. Pierce, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
And I will be voting aye. Motion carries. We have a remainder of 18.2 to 18.8. Again, we can take them as a group or individually. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to take 18.2 to 18.8 as a group. Tricia Pierce.
Second, Linda Porras.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Moving on to General Functions, Personnel Services. We have 19.1 to 19.7. Do I have a motion to take them individually or together?
So moved as a group.
Second, Tricia Pierce.
Any discussion?
I am very glad to see our guest teacher pay go up commensurate with the other districts, so that we can all hope, the districts in the Valley can all hope to get qualified and motivated subs for our students. And also the calendars, I do know there's a controversy on that, but I don't know what to say as far as what we can do. The calendar committee's worked very hard on that to make it work out the best possible, but I understand there's controversy. Thank you.
And I just want to clarify, Superintendent Vollmer, can you explain why there's a revised calendar?
I can. Dr. Hyde, would you like to explain that?
Certainly. Actually, the calendars that we're taking now really don't have any substantive changes other than the fact that we removed a religious holiday, Easter, as a listing, just because our calendars are specifically non-denominational and it's in compliance and really what suggested protocols are, especially when we look at surrounding districts and what we do in Southern California.
And I will tell you, I appreciate that. I think that it's important that we have that separation. So I've been calling it spring break forever. So I appreciate that. So that's basically why we are voting on the revised calendars. And I agree with the guest teachers. It's been very difficult finding guest teachers, and I'm hoping that this will be incentivizing people to be guest teachers, and we'll continue to get more and more people helping us out. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Moving on to general function student support services. We have 2 items on the under support services. Do you want to take them individually or as a group?
Make a motion to take 20.1 and 2 as a group. Tricia Pierce.
Second, Linda Porras.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There are no general function superintendents, so we'll be moving on to consent item student matters, and I'll be turning that over to our superintendent, Ms. Vollmer, this is her first meeting, and I just think you're doing an incredible job.
Thank you very much. All right, we do, as you can see on the agenda, we have 7 student matters this evening. So listed under closed session, item number 3.1, tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve the following student matters. Item 22.1, reinstate student case number 21/22-09 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce. The motion carried 3-0 with the board accepting the recommendation from the hearing panel. Item 22.2, reinstate student case number 21/22-34 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce and carried 3-0 with the board accepting the recommendation from the hearing panel. Item 22.3, reinstate student case number 21/22-42 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce and carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation from the hearing panel. On item 22.4, reinstate student case number 21/22-57 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce and carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation from the hearing panel. Item 22.5, stipulated expulsion case number 21/22-88 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce and carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation of the hearing panel. On item 22.6, stipulated expulsion case number 21/22-94 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce, it carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation of the hearing panel. And item number 22.7, expulsion case number 21/22-73 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce, it carried 3-0, and the board accepted the recommendation of the hearing panel.
Thank you so much. Moving on now to consent items, business services. We have a total of 10 items. Do we want to take them individually or as a group?
I move that we take them as a group. Linda Porras.
Second the motion. Tricia Pierce.
So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to consent items, educational services, there are 16 items. Again, do we want to take them individually or as a group?
Make a motion to take items number 24.1 to 24.16 as a group. Tricia Pierce.
Second, Linda Porras.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Consent items, personnel services. We have 2 items on our agenda. Do we again want to take them individually or separately?
Motion to take 25.1 and 2 together as a group. Tricia Pierce.
Second, Linda Porras.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. On to consent items, student support services. We have 11 items. Do I have a motion to take them individually or separately?
I make a motion to take item number 26.1 to 26.11 as a group. Tricia Pierce.
Porras.
Any discussion? I will say that I like to see that we have a service agreement with DocuSign. I think that that's, don't know why, I'm just so glad we're now into the 21st century and 22nd or 23rd. I mean, just this is good news because everybody uses DocuSign. So great to see that we're making it easier on our families.
It's really helped with our families for the IEPs and 504s. Kind of through the pandemic, the silver lining of having meetings virtual, we're continuing that for parents. They can have meetings at their break, at work for lunch, things like that. And so if that's a piece or option that they want to have, we have DocuSign ready for that. So yes.
I think that COVID has had its struggles, but obviously there have been some wonderful takeaways, and this is one of them.
Absolutely
so,
agree.
Thank you. Do we have any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. There are no consent items for the superintendent. We're moving on to personal actions certificated. Do we have any additions?
We do. We have a number of blind appointments that I'd like to recommend to the board. So if we look at agenda item 28.1 under certificated personnel, specifically agenda items numbers 15 through 20 on page 2, we are pleased to recommend the following announcements. Erasmo Garcia to the position of assistant principal at Desert Ridge Academy. 16, Michelle Sherlin to the position of assistant principal at Earhart Elementary School. 17, Elizabeth Del Campo Hartman to the position of director, professional development and teacher support. 17, Kirsten Knapp to the position of director, expanded learning. 19, Jennifer Volantic to the position of assistant principal at Jefferson Middle School. And 20, certainly not last, Dr. David Dunn to the position of principal at Shadow Hills High School.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve. Linda Porras.
Second the motion. Tricia Pierce.
Discussion?
Congratulating all these appointments and wishing them good luck in this quick transition as we start our August new school year. It's a lot of switching around this time, and it's going to take a lot of teamwork and welcoming by the new schools, but I know that everybody can take care of it.
And I just want to say I'm so happy for Michelle Sherlin. I'm not saying that I'm not happy for everyone else, because Kristen Knapp, my goodness. I mean, I could go on. Amazing. Again, we have some incredible people that continue to be promoted in our district, and I'm so proud of them. I'm attached kind of to that family. I worked under her dad, and I will tell you, I don't know if people understand the legacy that goes on in that family and how many people in her family, uncles, father, that have gone on to be principals, superintendents. I mean, this is just, that is the MO of that family, and I couldn't be more pleased. So congratulations to all of those people, so well deserved. And before we do anything else, do you have any retirements that you'd like to address? This is your 15 seconds.
Well, unusually, I don't in the certificated world in this agenda, but I do in the classified.
But I gave you 15 seconds, didn't I?
Thank you so much.
Just remember that, okay? So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to personal actions, classified. Do we have any announcements?
Yes, we certainly do. I'd like to direct your attention to agenda item 29.1, We have two retirements. The first one would be Allison Davini, who worked as a paraeducator at Dr. Carrion Academy, and also Petra Leone, who was a budget specialist in fiscal services. Allison had 17 years of service, Petra 36 years of service to the district. These employees represent a combined total of 53 years of service to Desert Sands Unified.
Perfect. You jumped the gun. I didn't even ask you if you had anything to say. That was during my comments. So, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept Linda Porras.
Second the motion, Tricia Pierce.
Any comments?
Yes, I want to say yes. Patty Leone. I've known her forever. And what's really cool is that she has at her desk a bouquet of dum-dums.
Oh.
And it is so cute. And she has a little sign. Oops. She has a little sign that's, I can't remember what it says, but it's dum-dum related. But she basically says to take a dum-dum, you know. And I told her, I said, I don't even want to take one.
Those are candy for those people that don't understand it, that are older like we are.
It's a candy.
It's
a little
candy.
lollipop.
I'm just clarifying. I want people to understand
their
little
names here. But it's really cute, and I told her I don't even want to take one because I didn't want to mess up the bouquet. So, but she said, "Oh no, I've got a whole bag of them." So she's counting down her days, which is really cool. So congratulations, Patty. I'm going to miss seeing you, but I know you're going to enjoy your retirement. So
I want to say this. This has nothing to do with it, but I just noticed there's an eyeball staring at me.
Yes, yeah, I know.
Is that Mr. Aquino?
No, that would be a gift left by Superintendent Bailey.
Yes.
Oh, so he's watching me. Okay, I'm looking at it. All of a sudden I noticed there's an eyeball looking straight at me.
It's actually right here. It's actually,
yeah. Oh, very cute.
Yeah, it's a private joke.
Okay. Anyway. Moving on, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Going on to call out on closed session items.
Yes, thank you. We have a few this evening. So in closed session, agenda item number 3.2, in closed session, the board took action to accept the voluntary suspension of classified management employee number 266339, passed on a motion by Linda Porras and seconded by Tricia Pierce. The roll call vote was yes by Linda Porras, Wendy Jonathan, and Tricia Pierce. And then additionally, item number 3.5, in closed session tonight, the board took action to improve the General Release and Settlement Agreement, SSS number 01/2022-2023, on a motion made by Linda Porras, seconded by Tricia Pierce. The motion carried 3-0. Item number 3.6, tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve the General Release and Settlement Agreement, SSS number 02/2022-2023, on a motion made by Linda Porras, seconded by Tricia Pierce. The motion carried 3-0.
Thank you. Do we have any suggestions for future agenda items?
No, I just wanted to acknowledge Principal Ann Morales back there. I guess you're here to be happy for Michelle Sherland, and she's not here. She can't be here? Oh, good. So you can tell her you're actually approved, and it's official. So I'm really happy for Earhart to have her personality and her enthusiasm. Thank you. No future agenda items that I can think of.
Ms. Porras?
I have none at this time.
And I have none. Moving on to 32, we have board and superintendent comments. Ms. Pierce, do you have any comments?
That could have been mine because I didn't know you were going to go back to it. I knew it was at the end of the meeting this time, but no further comment.
Okay, so I just want to say it was so exciting for Dr. Kelly Maybalmer's Coffee with Kelly, Coffee with a K, and I thought it was so neat that we had it here at the district office for all of our district employees to be able to attend. And I know that it's going to go out into the community, which is awesome, but I just thought it was wonderful to have our Desert Sands family to be able to be here and welcome you, and it was really great. So that's that. And then I was able to attend the summer school graduation at La Quinta High School for our class of 2022 summer school graduates. And it was Dr. Kelly's very first official graduation as a superintendent, so that was exciting. And I got to give the speech, so I feel really blessed to be able to have done that. So anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. That's so wonderful. And I think I wasn't able to be there, but I think it's really wonderful that you did your first coffee with staff and with our Desert Sands family. I think that sends a tone saying that you're here with our family first. So, and we know family's important. So thank you so much. We don't have any announcements that I'm aware of. Any announcements? Nope. And we don't have to reconvene to closed session items because they've all been addressed. And so at this point, it is, the next board meeting will be August 16th? Is it August 16th? It will be on August 16th. So if anybody wants to mark their calendars, Mr. Gustafson, I guess I'll see you at that meeting. Yes, you wrote it down in your calendar. Excellent. Terrific. I will be seeing you there. Anyway, I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 8:21.
That was great. Awesome.